What is up, everybody? It is Thursday, July 24th, and I'm a little late right now, but I'm going to do a recap of the Across the Border 3 tournament that took place in Mexicali, Mexico this past weekend. Thoughts, concerns, things I like, things that could be done better. But I'll say this, I had a great time. Well, actually, let me start over. I had a rough time getting in the country. Everything is legal on my end, but I had to go through the border twice, right? So the first time I'm driving there, and I flew in to San Diego, got my rental car, started driving, and we're finally at the border. Big long line. Then it goes into 3 ports, and 3 ports turns into 7 ports. No big deal. And I guess it's a random draw. So I got my rental car, go through. They're taking pictures of every vehicle that goes through. And I get there and guy goes, stop, looks at my car, I need you to pull over. I'm like, oh, okay. So I pull over to this carport and I'm thinking, all right, what's going on here? So of course, I don't speak the native language over there. So now I'm thinking, all right, so now what's gonna happen? I got my app out and that way I can translate what's going on. First thing he asked me, I need you to pop your trunk. Pop a trunk, no big deal. Then he said you need to see my papers. So I actually have Mexican insurance when I cross the border, or it's something good to have. So got that, everything is good. We're all right. So as I'm going on, I got my GPS on. Now, here's a question. Has anybody, right, had their GPS out and all of a sudden you make a turn or whatever, or a quick turn, and it doesn't really follow, right? It takes a minute. So I go on this ramp and it divides in 2. And so as I do the ramp deal, my GPS kind of freezes on me. And I'm thinking, all right, what the hell's going on? Hey, let's go, let's go, let's go. And mind you, I'm starting to freak out because I'm in a new country. I don't know what's going on. And I got cars just behind me honking like, dude, what are you doing? Hurry the fuck up. So now I'm thinking, all right, either I zig or I zag. I went ahead and zagged instead of zigged, and ramp goes around. And guess what? Now it's that line to go back across the border into the United States. I'm like, fuck me. So I'm thinking, great. Now I'm on my way to the venue for early weigh-ins. So let's go ahead and add that to the fray. So I'm doing that, thinking crap. I asked the guy, I said, hey, I just came here 15 minutes ago, and I need to know, is there a way I can just get back in line? He goes, yeah, you can, but you gotta go all the way down to the very end. I'm thinking, okay, it shouldn't be that long, right? So this long strip going to the international border, and the side streets going this way. You can go through, but you can't, on this side, you can't make a left-hand turn. On that side, you can't make a right-hand turn. So I'm like, fuck, now what? I gotta go all the way to the very beginning. And I'm thinking, crap, I'm never gonna, make weigh-ins, But nonetheless, the second time around, lucky for me, I just went through the deal where I didn't have to get pulled over or, have my car into the carport. I'm like, cool, now I'm here. Let's go to the venue. Finally get there, got a hold of Hector. Hey man, or actually Hector's son. Hey man, I'm on my way. I had ran into some trouble and stuff, I finally arrived at the venue. And at that point, it was 109 degrees, right? Yeah. The hottest it got was 111, but it was 109 degrees at the time. It didn't matter if you were in the shade or not. The breeze, there was no breeze. It was hotter than I don't know what. But nonetheless, I got there, did the weigh-in thing, got something to eat because I was cranky because I needed to, get some food in my stomach. Got that, it was good. So now I'm like, all right, cool. Shake hands, kiss babies, all that kind of good stuff. Met with Hector, his wife, Liz. Love those people. Met some guys from Puerto Rico, awesome pullers, And then I'm thinking, all right, once I got done eating, I'm gonna head on back to my hotel. I was with my homegirl, Merlene. She stayed in a separate hotel. So I was like, hey, I'm going back to my hotel. I tailgated her to her hotel, so she got there safe. Now I went back to my hotel. So I'm like, all right, cool. Got to the hotel, looked around, pretty cool. Video chatted my wife, let them know what was going on. I made it safe, this, that, and then some. So now we get up. It's the day of the event. I'm thinking, all right, so we go to, it's called this shot grip place. It's pretty cool because, it's divided in sections. The middle section was the arm wrestling tournament. The left side was the kid zone. The right side was like the K1 mini go-kart thing you had going on. Awesome thing. Now, as far as the tournament's concerned, only 4 weight classes, right? I'm driving home from the store, excuse me. So 4 weight classes, they ran them. They went, well, super matches first, obviously, right? Then they went junior class, amateur class, pro class, all left hand first. Okay. Then he went right hand, same situation, junior class, amateur class, open class. And I'm telling you, these juniors that they have down there, they're vicious, they're exciting to watch, and they throw everything on that table. So kudos to those gentlemen. So we even had a couple ladies that joined the men's class. Awesome. Merlene was one. She got a couple wins on a couple guys on the 90 kg open division. So good job, Merlene. So I'm thinking, all right. So they finally get to my class. I pulled the 220 class. I'm like, all right, let's do this, you know. Almost undefeated, but there's a guy, he's pretty badass, you know. First match we meet up between me and this guy. He elbow fouled twice. I got the win, so I go to the finals. He had to come from the B side. He got there. Then we switched sides, got into the strap. I got a horrible setup. I just didn't fight for it, so that was my own fault. Got the buck on my side. He ends up pinning me, had the angle on me, so I'm thinking, crap, all right. And I told him, I was like, all right, and you know, when he pinned me, explosion, okay. Like the crowd was for him and stuff. I'm like, all right, cool, you know. I said, hey, we got one more match, man. We're not done yet. We got one more match. So, you know, I got Merlene, I got Paul Stevens saying, hey, man, you know, don't let that guy take what he wants. You know, you set the tone, that kind of stuff. And all right, I got Derek Smith in the back, you know, cheering us on. And we had a small puddle of Americans, you know. Dave Depew was there. So a lot of the people that would have been there, they couldn't. So, but it was good that Team Alpha Empire was there. So we get back up there. I'm thinking, all right, so now I'm on the other side where the buckle's on his side now. I'm thinking, cool, you know, we slid. Going to the strap, buckle's gonna be on your side. I got you. You know, set up. He false started, no big deal. Cause I know where I'm at now. You know, the ref said go. I just fucking took him over. Quick top roll, side pressure pin. Everything is good. So I'm thinking, all right, cool. Now I can relax for a little bit because you know the right hand will be coming up. And normally, you know, I haven't pulled my right hand in a tournament since March of 2024, right? I practiced here and there just to kind of give it some work, but this arthritis is really kicking me. But I tell you what though, prior to that, it hasn't been hurting. So I'm thinking, all right. And honestly, what I'm thinking is that I got rid of my, I didn't get rid of them. I quit using my hand grippers, you know, because, you know, it just made things sore, it made things worse. So I just said, you know what, I'm not going to do it no more. So I felt good. So I thought it was good enough to go ahead and compete. And my first match right hand, when we finally got there, it was a long time, you know, took forever to get there. So first match, Paul Stevens. I'm thinking, all right. I'm thinking, as soon as I gripped up, I was like, ooh, this ain't comfortable. Ref said, go. Whack. I'm like, oh, all right, this is not good. Nope. Then the guy that I beat for first, I run into him my next match, and he just blasted me too. So I went two and out right hand. And I think one of the us Americans weren't used to like the way they run tournaments. There was a lot of stop and go, meaning there was a lot. They had 2 tables. And, you know, they could have ran it through. It was cool. But it was a lot of times where there was some excitement, where there was a certain matchup on one table. Everything kind of stopped to go watch that match. And I get that, you know. But there was a lot of stop and go to the point where you look up. Now that class is on one table. So I'm thinking, oh, they're in the finals. Cool. We making good time and stuff. But it wasn't. So it's kind of like, okay, what are we doing here? You know, like, all right. And for me, it was a turn and burn trip. What that means is that I got to get up and get out early, crack of dawn, because my flight left in San Diego at 10:30, which means I got to get some sleep. Because we're going on 8:30, and we started at 1 o'clock. So 4 classes, you know, that kind of stuff. So I'm thinking, all right. And I told Hector, I said, hey, man, I don't mean to be a bearer of bad news, but I got to get going because I got to get some sleep. I got to get up early, hit the border, and then, you know, San Diego and go home. So he was like, yeah, I understood. You know, I took some pictures, you know, and I kept saying, I'm sorry, I apologize. I couldn't stay to the very end because the first place, you know, left hand took me to the, made me get to the overalls. I didn't get a chance to pull that. So, but nonetheless, next time I do go though, I'll probably stay extra day, so it wouldn't bother me as much making it long. You know, it's just adrenaline dump, you know. But I did talk to Hector, and he says, hey, man, you know, he apologized it took so long and stuff, and they're trying to figure things out as far as how to make this thing better. And I get it, you know. So, but honestly, here are my thoughts, though. My thoughts are as such. It was a treat for me to go over there and compete against people from a different country. I always thought that, you know, internationally, you know, things are good. Anybody should go ahead and do that. I would tell somebody, go down there, compete. Derek Smith's been down there on a few occasions, you know. And now that I got a taste of that, I like it, you know. I do want to go back, you know. So, but yes, Hector, Liz, great job. Love you guys. Thank you for allowing me to compete and stuff. And we'll see you next time.